Hazrat Nuh, also known as Noah, was the son of Lamech, the son of Methuselah, the son of Enoch, Hazrat Idris, the son of Jed, the son of Mahalalel, the son of Canaan, the son of Enosh, the son of Seth, the son of Adam. He was from the lineage of Hazrat Seth, and his lineage traced back to Hazrat Adam. Allah granted Hazrat Nuh a long life of approximately 950 years. During this long life, he continuously called his people to monotheism and the worship of Allah. The Quran mentions his preaching in several places, including Surah Nuh, Surah Hud, Surah Al-Mu'minun, Surah Ash-Shu'ara, Surah Al-Ankabut, and Surah Al-Qamar. Hazrat Nuh tirelessly invited his people to Allah day and night, but his people mocked him and rejected his message. They said that Nuh was just an ordinary man and that his message had nothing special. The leaders of his people accused him of lying and refused to follow him. Allah bestowed many miracles upon Hazrat Nuh, the most significant being the building of the ark. Allah commanded Hazrat Nuh to build a large ark because a great flood was about to come as a punishment for his people. When Hazrat Nuh was building the ark, his people ridiculed him, saying it was madness to build a boat on dry land. The Quran mentions this in Surah Hud, verse 38, and he was constructing the ship, and whenever an assembly of his people passed by him, they ridiculed him. He said, "If you ridicule us, then we will ridicule you just as you ridicule." Hazrat Nuh followed Allah's command and boarded the ark with his followers and pairs of every kind of animal. The Quran mentions this in Surah Al-Mu'minun, verse 27, so we inspired to him, construct the ship under our observation and our inspiration. And when our command comes and the oven overflows, put into it from every creature 2 mates in your family, except those for whom the decree of destruction has already proceeded. And do not address me concerning those who have wronged. Indeed, they are to be drowned. When the flood came, the earth's springs gushed forth, and heavy rain poured from the sky. The ark floated on the water. The Quran mentions this in Surah Al-Qamar, verses 11 to 12. So we opened the gates of the heaven with rain pouring down, and caused the earth to gush forth with springs, and the waters met for a matter already predestined. Hazrat Nuh's wife and son did not believe in his message and stayed with the disbelievers. When the flood came, they drowned. The Quran mentions this in Surah Hud, verses 42 to 43, and it sailed with them through waves like mountains, and Noah called to his son who was apart from them, "O my son, come aboard with us and be not with the disbelievers." But he said, "I will take refuge on a mountain to protect me from the water." Noah said, "There is no protector today from the decree of Allah, except for whom He gives mercy." And the waves came between them, and he was among the drowned when the flood ended, and the water receded. The ark came to rest on Mount Judy. The Quran mentions this in Surah Hud, verse 44, and it was said, "O earth, swallow your water, and O sky, withhold your rain," and the water subsided. And the matter was accomplished, and the ship came to rest on the mountain of Judy, and it was said, "Away with the wrongdoing people." Hazrat Nuh Its ark carried pairs of every kind of animal to ensure their species would survive. The Quran mentions this in Surah Hud, verse 40. Until when our command came and the oven overflowed, we said, "Load upon the ship of each creature 2 mates in your family, except those about whom the word has proceeded, and include whoever has believed but none had believed with him." Except a few, the Bible also mentions Hazrat Nuh and his ark. In the Old Testament, the book of Genesis, chapter 6 to 9 detail the story of Noah. It describes how Noah built the ark following God's command and brought pairs of all living creatures into it. The flood lasted 40 days and 40 nights, and then the ark came to rest on Mount Ararat. But the Torah, part of the Old Testament, also recounts the story of Hazrat Nuh and the ark. It includes the people's reaction, the construction of the ark, the boarding of animals, the coming of the flood, and the ark resting on Mount Ararat. Hazrat Nuh, his people rejected his call and mocked him, considering his message to be false and him to be just an ordinary man. The Quran mentions this in Surah Hud, verses 27 to 29. So the eminent among those who disbelieve from his people said, "We do not see you but as a man like ourselves, and we do not see you followed except by those who are the lowest of us." And at first suggestion, "And we do not see in you over us any merit, rather we think you are liars." He said, "O my people, have you considered if I should be upon clear evidence from my Lord, while he has given me mercy from himself, but it has been made unapparent to you? Should we force it upon you while you are averse to it?" After the flood, Hazrat Nuh and his followers settled on the earth. New generations of humans were born from them, and humanity flourished again. After Hazrat Nuh, several prophets came from his lineage, including Hazrat Ibrahim Hazrat Ismail Hazrat Ishaq Hazrat Yaqub Hazrat Yusuf Hazrat Musa Hazrat Isa and finally Hazrat Muhammad SAW. The Quran mentions Hazrat Nuh in various surahs, including Surah Nuh, Surah Hud, Surah Al-Mu'minun, and Surah Ash-Shu'ara. Hazrat Nuh is considered one of the Ulul Azm prophets. He preached monotheism for approximately 950 years. Allah commanded him to build a large ark that carried his followers and pairs of every kind of animal. After the flood, the ark came to rest on Mount Judy. Many prophets came from the lineage of Hazrat Nuh. From his life we learn lessons of patience, perseverance, trust in Allah, and the importance of calling others to righteousness. Hazrat Nuh is also mentioned in Hadith. The Prophet Muhammad SAW said that Hazrat Nuh his people caused him great suffering, but he remained patient and always turned to Allah. Commentaries on the Quran discuss various aspects of Hazrat Nuh's life, drawing important lessons from his story. According to some traditions, the remnants of Hazrat Nuh's ark still exist and are found near Mount Judy. Various historical and geographical studies have been conducted on this matter. This is a comprehensive history of Hazrat Nuh and his events. His life teaches us lessons of patience, perseverance, and complete trust in Allah. One of Hazrat Nuh's famous prayers mentioned in the Quran in Surah Nuh 71:28 is, "My Lord, forgive me and my parents and whoever enters my house a believer and the believing men and believing women, and do not increase the wrongdoers except in destruction." Hazrat Nuh also gave many pieces of advice to his people, which are mentioned in the Quran, such as in Surah Nuh 71:10-12, and said, "Ask forgiveness of your Lord. Indeed, if He is ever a perpetual forgiver. He will send rain from the sky upon you in continuing showers and give you increase in wealth and children and provide for you gardens and provide for you rivers." The Bible does not specifically mention the prayers and pieces of advice of Hazrat Nuh, but it does detail the commands given to him and his actions. In the book of Genesis, chapter 6, it is written, "And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth." The Torah also does not specifically mention the prayers and pieces of advice of Hazrat Nuh, but it describes his actions and obedience to God's commands. The Torah mentions the instructions given to Hazrat Nuh as follows. God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. Now I am going to destroy them along with the earth. Make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch. From the prayers and pieces of advice of Hazrat Nuh, we learn that we should always seek forgiveness from Allah and turn to Him, and we should call others to righteousness and piety.